welcome to the Sunny Serwie channel. My name is Mama Sewa, and excuse the look because I am kind of feeling under the weather. Anyway, today I am excited because I'm going to share with you another basic teaching of Christianity that builds and strengthens our foundation as Christians. And so our topic is, what happens when you die? So one day in church, I was just happily walking around and I randomly decided to say hi to a fellow. And so I just said hi to this fellow, but then afterwards I just had this sense of moodiness. Like there was this feeling that just enveloped me, like after I said hi to this person, and I was wondering, what is this? It was so strange, but I think it was depression, and I was just so engulfed in myself. Funny enough, that Sunday the pastor had just preached a message on how to overcome depression, how to operate in faith, how to operate in faith. And one of the examples he gave during that sermon was that people who cast spells of moodiness or cast spells of depression are actually dangerous to be around because they are closer to death and suicide and things like that. And when he said that, the lady who was sitting right beside me in the service, she was like, yeah, that's so true. She actually had a friend like that. Anytime she spoke with him, she always left feeling depressed and down and moody, and the next thing she heard, he had committed suicide. And so when I experienced this for the first time in my life, it was strange, and my heart was burdened, my spirit was burdened to pray for this person. So the next day at home, I just got up and decided to dedicate a couple of hours to pray for this person and for myself, because it took me a while to come out of that mood or mode or whatever I was. I spent hours praying and pleading the blood over the person and praying that the light of God will enter this person's life and remove that spirit of darkness permanently, so that the person will never have to deal with it ever again. So after a couple of hours, I was drained, and then I decided to to just lay on my bed and just continue thanking God. And if I knew it, I drifted off to sleep, right? So I was sleeping, I just had a couple of random dreams that were neither here nor there. But then at the end of the last scene of my dream, it was like everything just shut down. And then this dark figure walks into my room. I could tell that it was a male personality that was lean in size with a well-ironed suit, like a dark suit. And then he walked over to the bed where I was, and he's like, now you kill yourself. And instantly, when the figure or the personality said that, my whole room, although it was already dark because it was in the night and the lights were turned off, like the darkness was heightened to another degree. I hope you're not frightened. Don't be scared. You are a child of God. God has not given you a spirit of fear, but I'm just telling you my experience. It will make sense over time, so hold on, stay with me, okay? So the room became tangibly darkened, in the sense that like I could feel the darkness, and my whole body became unresponsive to me. In that moment, I knew in my head that I had to say Jesus, so I ended up saying Jesus in my head. Then I was like, no, you have to say it with your mouth. So then I tried to say Jesus, but then it was soft, and then I was like, no, it has to be louder. So with everything within me, I just screamed Jesus, and instantly I woke up and I was set free. So with experiences like that, it's hard to believe anyone who tells you that there's more to you than what can be seen. So if you've had experiences, or if you've had dreams that were so real that even after you woke up you still had the effect of those dreams, it should tell you that there's a more conscious part of you than your flesh, and that conscious part of you is what we are going to be dealing with today, because that side of you continues to exist even after your body decays and even after you die. So what happens when you die? Here on earth, there are so many different places to be. In almost every civilization, there is a place that is reserved for people who offend the law, who are found wanting in the law in one way or another, whether they are guilty or innocent. So long as you are found wanting by the law, there is a place that is reserved for you. In the same way, in the spiritual realm or in the realm beyond the physical, there is also a place reserved for people who are found wanting by God's law, whether you believe it or not. There are two places that exist after this life, and that's heaven or hell. I know that there are teachings about the new earth and the new heaven, but that's for another day. Initially, God made hell for angels who had disobeyed him from the beginning, even before human beings appeared on the scene. But over time, when sin entered into the earth, God decided that any human being who refused to come back to him will also have to join the demons and the dark angels in hell. So hell is a place for spiritual outlaws, spiritual criminals, spiritual rebels, and things like that. Human beings who refuse to obey God, who reject Jesus Christ, and who don't accept Jesus Christ before they die. In fact, when I was younger and my mom was teaching us about life and the Bible and things like that, one of the lessons that she taught us was that every human being dies twice. Okay, there's the first death and the second death. I also learned this again in Sunday school. So if you have not been going to that Sunday school, anyway, so there are two deaths. Every human being dies twice. Now the first death is the biological death, and this happens when your spirit returns back to God, or God requires his spirit of you. So in the beginning, when God was making human beings, he breathed his spirit into the clay or into the soil, and man became a living being. God breathed the breath of life into the human being, and then the human being became alive. That breath is the spirit of God. And so when God decides that, okay, here, your time is up, I'm requiring my spirit of you, that's when you die a biological death, and that's when this body decays because it's no longer responsive. Thank you so much for stopping by to view this video, and don't forget to like